there. And so, again, we issued a press release on that. But you see, we always order a few extra bus signs anyways, just in case they get dirty or whatever. So, of course, they went into the shop, they got replaced. The next day, they were back out on the road again. No fuss, no muss, no problem for us, except we had an excuse for another press release. All right. Then this one went up in St. Augustine, Florida. And it was put up by CBS Outdoor, but they were a little embarrassed about it, so they didn't put their CBS Outdoor logo on the billboard. And we were going to have a better location in the center of town, but they kind of screwed with us a little bit. And they put it out on a lonely road near a railroad track, and we thought, well, this isn't going to look very important. But when you put a billboard out on a lonely road near a railroad track, the vandals will strike. And so now it's Cinerama, and we see the curved screen there, because what happened is somebody took a truck and tried to push the billboard down, and it was stopped by the trees behind it. But another excuse for a press release, and you could drive by and see the damaged billboard and see our message just the same, thus demonstrating our point of how important our message is.
A show, a television show, a half-hour show that never got produced, but it was about a guy who, a marriage and family counselor, who came home and found that his wife had left him. It was called Estranged. Oh, I got an email. Did you hear that? That's cool. And so I was doing research for the writing of that show, because I thought we'd do an episode. I'm getting a lot of emails. 2004, I think it was, and I wrote the first episode just shortly thereafter about, if you haven't seen it, it's basically about why do we need natural disasters and that kind of thing. It doesn't affect free will, it doesn't affect natural law or anything like that. If God had just left it out, it would be fine. We would never think.
I want to talk about why many atheists are angry. I want to talk about whether or not that anger is valid. And I want to talk about whether this anger helps or hinders our movement. So first of all, I want to point out something very important, which is that not all atheists are angry. Or uniquely armored against criticism, questioning, and self-correction. It is uniquely armored against anything that might stop it from spinning off into extreme absurdity, extreme denial of reality, and extreme grotesque immorality. This belief in unverifiable supernatural entities, the thing that uniquely defines religion, is exactly what cranks up its capacity to do harm to an alarmingly high level, because there's no reality check. Okay, so any other ideology or philosophy about the world is eventually expected to pony up. You know, it's expected to either prove itself true or correct itself or revise itself until it is true, or it will fall by the wayside. With religion, that is emphatically not the case. Because religion is a belief in the invisible and the unknowable. Because it's therefore never expected to prove that it's right or even to show any good evidence for why it's right. Its capacity to do harm can spin into the stratosphere.
I also have been tweeting this. In fact, if you go back on Twitter for like the last 10 minutes, it's like, oh my God, whenever Greta stops, you can hear a pin drop. I'm going to hide. But even amongst us, I don't think a lot of us give reason the deference it's due. And so I hate criticizing my own, but then again, that's something else the atheist movement has so right that religion has so wrong. I mean, just think of how much more free time we'd have if the Catholic Church really did police pedophiles. So even though I hate talking to you about this, I'm going to. And I want to start with the relevant.
So you might not want to let on when you're out in public. Kind of keep God to yourself so folks don't think you're nuts. By all means, believe whatever you like. Just don't expect real adults to trust you to look after anything important. And forget about running for office. Believing imaginary friends should automatically disqualify you from any position of responsibility. It is irrational. And you got to wonder, how the hell more than half the people on earth got to believing in the same big imaginary friend? It can't really be big since he's just imaginary. No, the answer is evangelist. Man, kill them once they don't buy in. God and genocide, a match made in heaven. So now you got these 3.4 billion believers in the God of Abraham. All the Muslims and Christians and Jews. And instead of seeing as how that gives them all something in common, they just fuss with one another. Agnostic. One who is not committed to belief or non-belief in the existence of God or a God. God damn, that doesn't sound very good. Puts me in mind of Revelation 3. Because you are lukewarm, you are neither hot nor cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. Now, Brother Sam, we wouldn't want to be too hasty in ruling out the goddess Isis, for instance. You can't say for sure she doesn't exist. Now, you're agnostic, all right. See, I will go way to hell out on a limb and say outright that there is no Isis. No fucking Jupiter. No Zoroaster. No God, no Jesus, no none of them. You go right ahead on, be agnostic. Just remember to set out some cookies for Santa.